Everybody, it's Brooke from Back of My Feet Chicago. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Workforce Development Coordinator in Chicago. So if I haven't met you before, nice to meet you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. So today we are going to be doing a workshop on how to write a entry-level cover letter. All right, so many of you might be wondering, what is a cover letter? So a cover letter is a tool to help you introduce yourself in a memorable and personal way during a job application. So the cover letter goes alongside with your resume, but it does not replace it. It simply adds to it. So if you're going to send your cover letter to an employer, you would send it along with your resume. It's kind of like a addition to it, a supplement as well. Your resume is intended to lay out the facts, but your cover letter is meant to convey more personality. The cover letter is your first introduction to the person who may hire you, and its goal should be to make it as memorable as possible in a good way. So I like to think of the cover letter as kind of like a story. So if you look on this next slide, the cover letter is kind of like an essay, a story. If you look at the resume, it's more of like a list. But the cover letter has like a paragraph format, so it looks more like a story, like an essay. They both have, information. They both contain, they talk about experience, but they just do it in a different format. So this is what they look like side by side. And, without even doing the cover letter, you can kind of tell the difference of what they look like. So here's kind of some tips. Don't give up. As a job seeker without any experience or little experience or even gaps in your resume, it can be discouraging when you've applied for dozens or hundreds of jobs and received 0 responses from employers. But even though you don't have a lot of responses, don't give up writing cover letters because it will make you stand out. So the next few slides, we're going to break down what a cover letter entails. So the first paragraph would be to introduce yourself. The first paragraph is your opportunity to make a strong first impression on the employer. This section should explain who you are, the position you're interested in, and how you discovered the opportunity. The introduction is also a great opportunity to mention any connections you have within the organization or the company. So let's look at an example of what our first paragraph would look like. So here's what I came up with. An introduction would look like this. My name is Brooke, and I have 5 years of experience working as a machine operator in a warehouse setting across the Chicagoland area. I'm interested in applying for the machine operator position at Great Lakes Coca-Cola as posted on Indeed.com. I'm highly interested in this opportunity because I'd make a great fit for your company. So, introduction. I put my name. I put the position I'm interested in, which was machine operator at Great Lakes Coca-Cola, and how I heard about the company. I also put my experience as well, right off the bat, so that they know. Second paragraph, you want to talk about your relevant skills and accomplishments. So this section is the biggest challenge for job seekers with little or no experience. It's also where many job seekers make mistakes because they don't know how to highlight their experience. As you explain why you're qualified for the position, it's important to connect the dots with the employer. So if you haven't worked in the industry that you're applying for, you have relevant skills. You have life skills, you have skills in other jobs. Use that and tie it in with the job that you're applying for. So let's take a look. Second paragraph can look like this. I realize you're looking for a candidate with attention to detail and ability to work and communicate well with others, as well as experience performing repetitive tasks for extended periods. As a machine operator at Freedman Seating, so you want to tie in the job that you had before, I was responsible for reading orders and following blueprint instructions, as well as setting up various machines. My job duties required me to pay attention to detail while working in a high-pressure environment. So this talks about the different skills that you have. So we talked about the ability to work and communicate with others, attention to detail, and experience performing repetitive tasks. We also went and talked about a kind of like a real life accomplishment that we had, responsible for reading orders, and kind of at the end we tied it in how you're able to pay attention to detail and working in a high pressure environment. So this definitely highlighted all the relevant skills and how it can tie in with a job at Great Lakes Coca-Cola. Third paragraph, you want to highlight your best qualities, explain why you're a good fit. Although you consider yourself a great fit for this position, you need to use examples and illustrate why you're a good fit for the job. It's important to talk about real life examples. So we're going to highlight on that in the third paragraph example. So this is an example I came up with. During my time working at Friedman Seating, I led a team of 5 individuals where I was responsible for making sure the team complied with all relevant laws and regulations for safety and quality. Through this opportunity, I learned how to collaborate with others and work effectively in a team in order to accomplish a common goal. I would be an excellent fit at Great Lakes Coca-Cola because of my leadership experience and ability to work well with others. So, in this example, kind of how we laid it out, we talked about real life example at Friedman Seating, and you tied in how your qualities could fit into the company, Great Lakes Coca-Cola, that you're looking to apply for. So we were able to talk about previous experience, how that ties in with the previous job, or with the job that you're applying for. It's really good to, take a look at the job posting and kind of extract the skills that they're looking for, the duties that they're looking for, and put it by name in your cover letter. Now let's tie it all in together. Fourth paragraph, conclude with a call to action. The final paragraph in the section that will seal the deal for a job interview. You want to leave a lasting impression on your reader, so the future employer. So make sure your conclusion is confident, upbeat, and encourages the hiring manager to get in touch with you. So let's look at this. My screen needs to be moved again. Call to action example. So with the combination of machine operator experience and leadership skills, I'm confident I would make a great fit for this position. Thank you for taking the time to review my application and consider me as a candidate. I will follow up next Wednesday to schedule a time and talk with you more about this position. I look forward to hearing from you soon. All right, so call to action. We finished off the last paragraph with a really bold statement saying, I'm confident I'd make a great fit for this position. And we made a call to action saying that I will follow up next Wednesday to schedule a time. This is great because you're taking initiative, you're taking action, and that will definitely get the employer's attention. All right, final steps. After you've proofread the cover letter and are confident it's error-free, you're ready to send it to the hiring manager. Make sure you've included a header at the top of the document, including your contact information. So just like you do at the top of a resume, you want to include your name, your address, your phone number, and your email so they can get in contact with you. And that's actually what we're going to do next. Encouragement. Just because you don't have the experience doesn't mean you can't write a stellar cover letter. By following these tips, you'll write a cover letter that gets you noticed by employers and land the job. If you need assistance proofreading, writing the cover letter, or how to even send it in an email, contact the staff member in your chapter and they'll be able to help. I know for Chicago, I'd be happy to help with this. If you need help, and if you watch this presentation and you're like, I still don't know what to do, give me a call. I'd be happy to help. If you already have a cover letter and you need help with formatting or proofreading, send it over to me. I'd be happy to help. Now let's write this cover letter and send it. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up a Word document. I'm sure most of you have Word on your computer. So we're going to open that up. If you don't have Word on your computer and you want to write type it on your phone or write it down via a piece of paper, and you just need help formatting it, send it over to me and I can, whip it into shape for you. All right, so we're going to open up a blank document. We're going to go ahead and save it. Computer's acting a little slow, my bad. Okay, so we're going to type it as Brooke, my name, cover letter, and then I'm going to put the year as well. Since you're going to be attaching this to an email, make it like a very nice professional save as. All right, so we have our blank cover letter. So now we have a blank slate. So in order to format this, like I said, you're going to want to put your first and last name at the top. So we'll put Brooke Bors. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, under that, I'm going to put my address, just like you have at the top of a resume. I'll put my phone. That way they can get in contact with me. If you don't have a phone, I highly recommend that you do get an email address. It's free. You can sign up for one really easily on Gmail. That way, if you don't have a phone, they have an email to get in contact with you. Okay. Great. Okay, so I think once you're formatting this, it would be nice to use a very appropriate professional font. So you want to do Times New Roman, and let's make it 12. That's kind of the standard for font in documents, just to make it look professional. You don't want a crazy font. You want it to be legible for them to read it. Okay, another thing I would include is making your name a little bit bigger so that it stands out on the page. Great. Okay. So we have all my contact information, so I'm going to press enter twice, and I'm going to copy and paste everything that we wrote. So our cover letter looks like this. Notice how there's a bunch of spaces between the paragraphs. We don't all want it to, look like a book or a novel. You want it to separate so that it's very legible to read. Make sure that you're using correct grammar, capitalizing where you need to, and that your font, again, is legible. Okay, great. And everything should fit. So everything right here is Times New Roman 12. And then this whole thing needs to be, it's at 11, so it needs to be Times New Roman 12 as well. So make sure that it just looks very uniform and all put together. And I'm going to zoom out in a minute and show you what it looks like. All right, let's zoom out. Great. It looks like a very nice professional looking cover letter, and that's what we're aiming for. Okay, so now say that you have to, oh, I forgot one more thing, my bad. A big thing is addressing your cover letter. Some of you might not know the hiring manager. If you do, you can address them by name. Mr. Smith, Mrs. I can't think of a last name, Mrs. Bors. You can address it to them. If you don't know, it might be good to write to whom it may concern. You want to always address your cover letter. So at the top, all your contact information, addressing your cover letter right here, and then the body of the cover letter, so the content. Okay, great. Now that we have this, we are going to actually log into our email, and I'm going to show you how to write an email and attach it, the cover letter as well, because a lot of you might have to do that when sending a cover letter. My computer's loading, so we'll just do it in a minute. Okay, so let's go to gmail.com and let's log into our email. I know a lot of you have Gmail. I'll show you exactly how I'm going to attach it. It's very easy, and how you can send it to someone. Okay, so they're loading my Gmail. My apologies for the slow computer. Great. Okay, so once you get to your email, to create an email, to send an email to someone, you're going to press this little plus button, compose, and a box should pop up. Again, my apologies for the slow connection. Let me try to get it to work. So it's loading up here. There's definitely nothing more frustrating than technical difficulties. I'm sure a lot of you experience this. Perfect, new message. Okay, so when you're typing a new email, when you're sending an email to someone, you'll put the to. I'm gonna send it to myself, but you would obviously send it to, the recipient. Subject line is what pops up right here. So when you get an email, the subject line will tell you what the email is about. So since I'm sending a cover letter, I might want to put my first and last name and cover letter in the subject line. So that way the person I'm sending it to knows. You could also maybe write machine warehouse job inquiry. So that way when you're sending it to someone, they'll be able to see in the subject line, know that you're inquiring about the job. Okay. Just like we did in our cover letter, we're going to address the email to someone. So if you don't know who, you can write to whom it may concern. Always good to address someone in your email. What I would write here is my name. Let me concern. My name is Brooke, and I am applying for the machine operator position at Great Lakes Coca-Cola. Okay. Attached is my resume and cover letter. Please let me know if you have any questions or need additional information. Have a great day. Okay, so let's talk about the body of the email. So I addressed it to whom it may concern. I introduced myself. So if they don't know who this email is from, my name is Brooke, and I'm applying for the machine operator position at Great Lakes Coca-Cola. So that's telling them, I'm applying for the job. And then I'm also going to talk about what's in the email. Attached is my resume and cover letter. Please let me know if you have any questions or additional information from me, so that, kind of opens it up and asks them and lets them know that I'm able to provide them with anything else they might need. And then I kind of left it on a good note saying, have a good day. And I put my first and last name. Now let's attach it. So if you look down below and you see this little paper clip, it shows up on a mobile device as well. You can attach the files. So this is what we're going to do to attach our cover letter to the email to send to the employer. So we're going to click this, and then all of your documents will come up, if it will, for me. I don't know what these are for. Okay, sorry, more technical difficulties. Should be pulling up. Great. So because I pressed the paperclip, it brought up all the documents on my computer. So we saved it as, I think it was Brooke Orr's cover letter. Instead of searching through all the millions of documents I have, I'll just type it in the search bar and see if it comes up. Perfect. So since it's open, I'm going to close it. Oops. Sorry. Okay. So you're going to click this, and by clicking it and open, it's going to attach the email. And you can know if it's attached to the email because it will pop up down here and it'll be an attachment. So let's look over it again. I have the recipient, so who I'm sending it to, the subject line, that's what they'll see right here for the email. I addressed it to someone, I introduced myself, what I'm applying for. I told them that my cover letter is attached. I let them know if they have any questions, they can contact me, and then I sign my name at the bottom. So everything looks 100%. I'm going to go ahead and send it. So it's saying sending, message sent, and it was sent. Awesome. Okay, let's go back here. All right, so this presentation has been about writing the cover letter. So we talked about, the body of a cover letter, what is a cover letter, the difference between a cover letter and a resume. Then we showed you how to format the cover letter. So putting your first and last name, putting the body of the paragraph, addressing it to someone. And then we went in our email and we attached the email or the cover letter and we wrote an email to the employer. So I hope this has been helpful. Please get in touch with me or the person in your chapter. If you have any questions, if you want to get a cover letter started, we'd be happy to help. If at any point I'm talking too fast, you can go ahead and pause the video, rewind, watch it as many times as you'd like. This resource is for you. I hope it was really helpful, and I wish you a good day and happy social distancing.